Y'all, these toxic boy moms will enable their son even in the afterlife, especially if that son is a little hobo. And again, I'm coming out with my own column soon. Thank y'all for helping me try to name it. Still taking a suggestion. Look at this. Okay, dear Annie, my mom is leaving my slacker brother her $900,000 house near the ocean. I just want to say right out of the gate, I am so glad that I don't have a brother. I always wanted a brother. I thought it'd be cool to have an older brother who would look out for me. That doesn't seem to be the case for almost anyone I know. These older brothers and younger brothers like torture their sisters and absolutely exploit patriarchy so that their moms always favor them. Like, it is so rare for that to not happen. Let's just look at this crazy example. Dear Annie, I read a letter in your column about inheritance issues, and I wanted to share my own story. My mother transferred a $930,000 house near the ocean to my single brother a few years ago in secret. See, she knows that she was wrong. She knows that she was wrong and that wasn't fair because she would have not done it in secret. That alone tells me that, like, mom knows what's up and she just, like, didn't want to get crap for it. We found out when trying to look at money for a care home for my father. Because I don't know if y'all have experienced this yet. I'm guessing a lot of you have. Care home, like a memory care center for my dad. He had long-term health insurance, but it only covered 5 years. So part of us were like, I hope he lives, but also what the hell are we gonna do if he doesn't die within 5 years? Like, that is crazy to even have to think about that. Like, but when you're putting a parent in a care facility, this is the kind of stuff you have to look at because this will literally wipe you clean. Because, I mean, I think it's like this other places, but in the United States, this is super bad. So, they're looking at this place. Her argument was that he has no family or children like my other siblings and me. This sibling also decided to give up working in his mid-40s and surfs, dives, and fishes while my other brother is a Fortune 500 director and I have my own property company. What? I don't understand. What do you mean he just gave up working? What is he doing? What is he doing? Who's paying for that? Is he living in a van? Because y'all know how I feel about these hobos in the van. Surprised he's not climbing too. Anyway, he often mocks us for working so hard. Of course he does. And the toll it takes on our health, while he maintains good health due to surplus of free time and minimal stress. Now, I don't necessarily disagree with him deciding that he didn't want to work, but has he ever had a hard job? Or like I don't know what he quit. But I don't necessarily disagree with someone deciding to not focus so much on career and having a simpler life, but not at the expense of other people, right? Not if it means you're going to live off of mommy's money or your wife's or girlfriend or multiple women's money. You know, I'm all for people choosing happiness. But when men choose this lifestyle, it's usually a woman bankrolling it somehow. And if she's not literally bankrolling it, then he's probably got, like if he's living in his van, for instance, he's probably got several women he hooks up with that he does his laundry at and like all kinds of crap. My other siblings and I both experience decades of working and the normal sacrifice and unseen struggle that goes with building success. But in my family, no one appreciates these things. Okay. I mean, no one made you do that. Like, yeah, okay, your family doesn't appreciate that. That doesn't mean I'm siding with the younger brother. But I am saying, I don't know. She may seem a little too committed to sacrifice and suffering in order to make money. I don't know. Like, if that's what you want, do that. If your family doesn't like that, okay, that's fine. But it's the brother. It's the hobo brother who's getting the house that's still my problem right here. Any questions on the transfer and the secrecy is met with gaslighting around the fact that we don't need money and suggestions we are being greedy. See, that's the problem I have with it. Okay, I'm just curious. Let me know in the comments if you have this in your family or you see this a lot. I swear to God, this is really common in the South. There'll be like a brother that never leaves home. Now, if there's a daughter that never leaves home, it's usually because she's taking care of somebody. Not always, but usually. But I swear to God, in the South, I'm going to say in white communities because that's what I know very well, there's always some loser brother who just won't leave home. And the mom is like, doesn't want him to leave because what would she do without him? And he's just like the little baby prince, you know? And it's not always the youngest brother, but it oftentimes is. Like I joke about it with my friends. We're like, every house in the South, there's possibly some man living in the basement that mom won't let, that lets him live there. Am I wrong? And maybe this isn't just in the South, but it's pretty bad there because there are a lot of mama's boys there. Annie, this home has been in the family for 100 years and is priceless. I also know my mother could never have executed this transfer on her own. She can't even pay her own bills herself. What's happening here? I have so many questions. Who's paying her bills? Dad's probably not anymore. Well, okay. Sorry, I always usually have more questions than answers when I read this. The problem is, I'm struggling to communicate with my mother now. Our daily back and forth messages have completely dried up. I am triggered by anything she sends to the point I can't read it. She acts like nothing has happened, so messages are about day-to-day trivia. She has not attempted any resolution. I feel I can spend the remainder of her life without seeing her again, which shocks me. Okay, before I go any farther, this is a big boomer problem. Boomers, okay, the experience of most of the people I know with boomer parents is that because none of them will go to therapy, they just don't talk about things. They don't talk about things. And Southern white women are like, already like this all the time, right? Even when they're full of rage, right? Which is why they become a menace and little terrorists to anyone they have power over. We know that historically. But when it comes to being confronted and having honest, direct conversations, just avoid it at all costs. So I can totally see this happening where it's like, mom's just like, let's just pretend like nothing happened. That $930,000 house didn't go to your loser brother who, skis the pow-pow and surfs. Let's just make little jokes and send memes and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, God, can y'all just talk about stuff? Nope, no problem. Happy. That kind of stuff is madness. And the children of boomers who will not talk about things, like, don't even know what to do with that. I mean, that's how we get stuff like, I could go the rest of my life without talking to her. Like, I'm guessing that they probably did not have a great relationship to start out with. If she spent her life watching her mother enable and baby her brothers. So many women are so sick of their parents and literally especially the boy mom's treatment of the sons is what makes the daughters just like never be able to have an honest relationship with them because they know that those mothers do not see them as equals. They don't love them as much. They may not say that, oh, I love you all equal, but you're good, and this one gets a $930,000 house. Like, sorry, but who's gonna believe that you love me as much as him when you're doing this? Because he decided not to have kids or get married and quit his job and go ride the waves. I had cut down visits as she often makes me feel bad about my weight. Okay. I don't blame you. Like, this mother sounds so indoctrinated into patriarchy and probably codependent and a pick-me at the high end of the spectrum. Because I truly believe if you're a woman raised under patriarchy, you are on the pick-me spectrum on some level. Just like every man is on the hobosexual spectrum. Because all they do is exploit our labor. My kids are only 3 years from finishing high school, and I am reducing my work commitment and had planned to spend more time with my mother. What could be her final day? The situation has brought up decades of, okay, here we go. See, I knew it. Decades of misogyny and problems in our family, and the brother receiving the property won't discuss it. What? Some grammar stuff going on here. Anyway, we get the point. There's a history of misogyny in this family. I mean, not surprised, but it starts with, oh, go help your brother. Oh, he doesn't know any better. La, 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 la. All the things that mothers do to show very clearly through their actions and even their words sometimes outright that they love their sons more. And especially if it is a son who plays helpless. I can't do anything. I can't do anything for myself. Help, mommy. And you know what? I am glad that man does not have children or a partner. Thank God. I would not wish that man on anyone. But the fact that he's going to get the family home, the beach house, worth almost $1 million, and he's a little hobo who won't work. Like, I'd be pissed if I was the sister too, especially if mom has been criticizing my weight and reinforcing these ridiculous gender roles and patriarchal crap. This is like the final nail in the coffin. And this is why a lot of times inheritance stuff, it's really, really, like it's a bloodbath. It's not even about money. I mean, it is, because money is value. And if someone gets a lot more money than someone else, it's just being like, I value this person more. Sorry. But what it seems to me is that when all these conflicts happen, when the parents die or, writing their wills and stuff, all of the resentment around the way the parents treated each kid, or about, a parent remarrying someone else. And then, especially if a man remarries a woman, and that woman's around for like 5 years before he dies, and then she gets everything, and then her kids get everything, and those kids who put up with a nightmare dad get nothing. That's what happened in my family when my grandpa died. But I've told that story, and, I actually think she had a right to some of that money. But anyway, it causes so much friction because of the way that men are favored, or men are babied or enabled, and yet have more money or feel entitled to things. And all these resentments come out. I am curious what the decades of misogyny look like, but this is just the final little misogyny cherry on the patriarchal sundae. He has propped his lack of retirement planning up nicely, and he knows it. I also send monthly money, $1,500, to my parents, which I have done for 4. Why are you doing that? I know they need it. Why? Why do they need that? Okay, this is where, this woman has every reason to be pissed. And at the end of the day, her parents can do whatever they want with their money. And she can have her own reaction to those choices, especially if she's endured decades of misogyny, as she said. But this right here, this is women doing too much. What she's pissed at is that she's been sending her hard-earned money to her parents, who are then just giving stuff to her brother. So, and basically she is by proxy supporting the fun lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle of her brother, who's a slacker. And I don't understand why her parents needed $1,500 a month if they have a $1 million house on the beach. Like, can't you refinance or like whatever? I don't understand. I don't know how that works. But she shouldn't be sending the money. I understand people sending their parents money, but the fact that they have a second home that's worth $1 million makes me think maybe they didn't need that money. I don't know. Women's sense of that we owe people things, at the very basic, it's grape culture. I owe men my body. It's not even mine. Do what you want with it. But on the more codependency big picture, I got to help support them. I got to take care of them. I owe men my time. I got to take care of my parents. I got to take care of my husband's parents. I got to take care of all the la 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 la. And we just take care of everybody. And then you get this. She's pissed. She's resentful, and it's because she's doing too much. And clearly she's got a lot of resentment against her mom and her mom's treatment of her, and yet she's still supporting her mom. Cut her off! Cut her off! Clearly you want to. And again, if the mom was like starving, then I would understand that she would feel like this, again, $1 million beach house in addition to wherever they're living now. Cut her off. Maybe a little surfer bro can help out, which we know he won't. And that's one reason why women do this, because we know men won't do it. Am I wrong for being so upset since my mother can do what she wants with her money? Yes, you are wrong for being upset. Your mom can do whatever she wants with her money, but you're pissed because you're sending her money. That's where you're wrong, because you don't get a say over what she does with that money, and she's enabling the brother. I wouldn't be surprised if she's sending those checks straight to the brother. How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet she's like bankrolling that brother? Somebody is. How is he not working? Where is he getting his money from? That's what I think is happening here. Sister is paying for brother's lifestyle, and mom is just like, you just won't say anything. Toxic boy moms will go to this length. They will. And they'll lie through omission to make sure the little prince baby's taken care of, even at the expense of their daughters. But it sends me a message that I don't matter. Yeah. I mean, probably should have figured that one out a while ago. But I get it. We all come to these lessons in our own time. If she had no issue with her reasons, why keep it a secret? Exactly. She knows it's wrong. Mm-hmm. Do I stop sending money? Yes. Do I move on from this and decide if this is terminal for our relationship? Is it wrong to never want to see my brother again and consider him a thief? Okay, so you don't have to do all those things. Stop sending her money. Just stop sending her money. That alone will make you probably not want to hate her so much. If she stops sending her money, then she may not feel the need to cut her off. But, I mean, he's not a thief for taking money that mommy is giving him. But a man with integrity would probably feel weird about taking the family home all to himself and leaving his siblings with nothing. They should probably feel bad about that. So anyway, yeah, I mean, this dude's probably a douche, so I probably wouldn't talk to him either. But just stop sending money. That could make things so much better alone. And also tell your mom why. You know, one of the things I think people need to be more comfortable is making boomers uncomfortable. Like, you kind of have to pick your battles, but like, just because they're not comfortable having hard conversations doesn't mean you shouldn't have them. They usually don't react well. They usually get in their feelings, and then you usually maybe don't talk to them for a while they sit with it. But this like avoidance thing that so many boomers do because they just can't admit when they're wrong because they've actually never been to therapy or anything and don't understand that there's a reason why their kids are having a very hard time with them. Well, you know, sometimes it's not worth it. Sometimes you just play the game because it's like worse if you actually try to be authentic. But other times it's like you have a limit. But just not talking about it or saying why and just never talking to your mother again until she dies, like this woman suggesting, maybe you have the same problem as your mom. A fear of conflict, a fear of being honest. And you should start calling your mom on her body shaming crap. You know, I had to call my dad out on that. I started calling my dad out on a lot of things instead of just being like, or whatever, and it was so empowering. But how to call them out is the really hard part. And also not expecting change too, because some of these people, like some boomers, are literally never going to change, and they even admit that. One last thing before I get to her advice. My friend was calling out his own father, a boomer, for being like basically a big baby, a big king baby, and explaining all those things. And he was like, yeah, you're right. But you know, and literally said, yeah, but it's too late now. It's too old to change now. And literally is like, nah, yeah, I know this, but what are you gonna do? Like, they don't even care. So, dear inheritance issue. While your mother has a right to manage her finances as she sees fit, it's natural for you to feel hurt by the sequential treatment. If you choose to stop sending her money, communicate your decision respectfully and clearly, explaining your reason without placing blame. Regardless, for any hope of reconciliation, it's important to have a candid conversation, there we go, honesty, with her about your hurt feelings. Exactly. You can't make this lady change, but if you don't tell her why you're so upset, then nothing's gonna change. As for your relationship with your brother, it's understandable that you may feel betrayed and frustrated. It's okay to need space from him while you work through your feelings, but know that holding on to anger and resentment may only hurt you in the long run. Agreed. Drinking poison and hoping it poisons someone else. I fully believe that. Hanging on resentment is not healthy. But also, like, you still don't have to hang out with this loser. You chose to work and build a successful property company. You can cherish those accomplishments and all that it's brought without insulting your brother's surfing lifestyle. Communicate openly with him as well, explaining your side of the situation without being accusatory. With honest communication and mutual compassion, you'll be able to find common ground. I don't know about that. A lot of people aren't going to change. You do have more respect for yourself when you don't enable them.